What is one of the classes that utilizes the stacking mechanics, and if you are caffeinated, your damage becomes automatic crits, and your 2 and your 5 does more damage based on your 2 stacks. Okay. Normally you will use Valence throughout all the mobs inside the game, and the boss, you can basically solo anything except for bosses that has stun immunity and bosses that cannot miss their attacks. This is a dodge melee class. I usually start with the 4 and 5, then spam your 2, then I rotate my 3 and 4 depending whether I need heal or mana. That being said, you spam your 5 when it comes off cooldown, and once you get 3 stacks, you spam your 4 to get caffeinated, and you spam your 2 to basically do absurd amounts of damage, as when you're basically doing auto crits and, yeah, like I said, absurd amounts of damage. Just remember, if you're not caffeinated, your 2 will not crit. Once you are caffeinated, your 2 will do crits only. Is self-aware from the descriptions and the name of the skills, like 2 is butter smash, 3 is a reasonable attack, 4 is your gaming fuel, and 5 is keyboard smash. It's so silly. Anyways, the class is a hero mod only class where you have to buy a shirt, which is $25. It is a little bit expensive for what it's worth, but it does a feel good feeling when you're using this class. It does not do a lot of damage, to be honest. You have to compare to a chrono. A chrono does like easy damage because it's just like spam like your rifts up to 4, then you do a massive nuke. This one is a stacking mechanic, and the stacking mechanic kind of like falls off when you do a lot of damage, and it just plummets after you reach your limits. Compared from the other hero mod classes, this is like an entry level class. You can easily get it if you stay in America and you're near the hero mod shop. Following capabilities, there is a small window where you can get hit if you're not careful. The 5 does stun for 3 seconds, so you can get your 2 off once you stack up your button smash, which increases your dodge. And just remember that if there are bosses that they have stun immunity, it can become a little bit difficult, but also with bosses that cannot miss, yeah, this class basically falls off because it is a dodge melee class. And usually with classes that normally don't do well in ultras, except for this class, because this class is just, I don't know man, it's just something special. To farming, this class does somewhat decent to its 2. The 2 has a 1.5 second cooldown, and then this class has a naturally high haste, so you're basically at max cap haste already. So you can use Dauntless and Valence with this class. I recommend using Dauntless because it kind of increases the speed. Just remember that your 2 only does more damage based on your 2 stack. Overall damage, because the forge enhancements are based on your attack power, and the increases of your 2 increases the damage of your 2 and 5 abilities only, not your overall damage. And you're using it for multiple targets, just single target, because it does eventually run a mana if you do more than one target. Okay, so with the ultra bosses and team fights, this class does extremely well because with its infinited effect, it does 300% crit damage when you go up to 15 stacks with your 2. So it does extremely well with support, but for solo bosses it goes to a point. But if you have pots, it goes extremely well. So I do rate this class as a B to C tier class.